Podcast. As always, I'm your host from Liberty, and with me is...
Boaz Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we've got some stuff. We got Overwatch Halloween event teased. We've got Skyrim Special Edition and Fallout 4 will be getting mod support after all. Darkest Dungeon DLC announced for next year. Voodoo Vince remastered. Gravity Rush 2 delayed, but a special gift for fans. And then the date of PlayStation Experience being December 3rd. Before we get into the news, let's talk about what we played this week. You know what? Screw it. I've been playing Overwatch, but I've been talking about for the last couple weeks, so I'm going to flip the tables. I'm going to talk about what I've been doing. I've been playing a lot of D&D.
Nerd!
I know, just the nerdiest of nerd. I'm doing a couple sessions, like mostly online stuff. And it is kind of hilarious because like the range and quality is pretty hilarious. The first session I did online with a couple of these British people, right?
Yeah.
Was kind of a shit show because the DM or Dungeon Master, he had no idea what he was doing, and so bad, like to the point where he was asking us questions about the rules. And I'm just like, oh, what have I gotten myself into? But it was kind of so bad that it kind of became kind of good. Because he was surprising me from time to time. But it did surprisingly get better, but it's still pretty chaotic because we're in a 6-man session, which is like 6 people trying to talk in Skype all at once. And then I did one that was more official. This guy, he grabbed one because what Wizards of the Coast do is they actually release these pre-written campaigns that you can just use, and I'm one that's actually pre-written, and it's really, really good because they obviously play tested it a lot, and it has all the information that the DM could use to kind of solve a problem, or if the players do this, well then this happens or something like that, all the notes are there. As someone who's done DMing, having some preparation of, okay, I was expecting the party that I'm playing with to go down the road, but instead they decided to trek through the woods for 4 hours, so I need something to happen, and then the book will kind of give you some ideas. So so I'm just having a lot of fun with that. D&D is always really, really fun to play. And other than that, I really played Overwatch. I downloaded Resident Evil, the remake. I haven't played it yet. I've downloaded it. But I will come back hopefully next week with some details on it. I'm really excited to play it. Because I've been wanting to play the original Resident Evil for a really long time, and this is the perfect chance to do so. But yeah, that's really what I did this week. A little bit of Overwatch, a ton of Dungeons and Dragons, and downloading. So, what did you do for us?
I went full on Overwatch this week.
Nice.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the last podcast, but I'm trying to learn a couple of new characters because
Genji.
Yeah, Genji, Ana, and Winston. So I just kept on with that. I had a pretty bad couple of games today. It's because I mostly play with randoms. A lot of my friends who I used to play with a lot, they don't come online as much. So I play with a lot of randoms, and it can be tough sometimes. You just see a lot of And it's funny because I say this in one of the videos that that I'm gonna post on the channel. Hint, hint, spoiler alert. But a lot of these people, they're not bad players. They're not even stupid players. They just do not think critically of the moves that they're making. For example, I was in a game last night, and we had a Reinhardt, a Bastion. So that was our first mistake. We had a Reinhardt, a Bastion, and a Mercy. And then they went. This was a Hollywood. We're on Hollywood defense. And then they pushed forward and they set up in this little house to do like that little trench defense with the Reinhardt, the Mercy damage boosting, the Bastion and stuff. And they got a couple of surprise kills. I think the Bastion got like 3 kills.
Mm-hmm.
However, that doesn't matter because you're directly in front of their spawn. So he kills the Vara and he kills the 76, and then they respawn and they kill him. And it's like, okay, you've traded kills. However, now they've capped the point. All of them pushed forward. I was behind. Mm-hmm. And then I ended up 1v1ing a Roadhog as Ana. Because my entire team was pushed forward. Now, I think I actually held my own pretty damn well. But yeah, it just shows that play was just you weren't going to hold that position for 4 minutes. So if you aren't going to hold it for 4 minutes, there's no point taking that position at all. The next thing I wanted to get to, and this was rampant all over this game, was alt management or mismanagement in this case, right? There's 4 of us. There's 1 Reaper. He's walking directly towards me. 4-on-1. We have clear sight of him. He decides to pop his ult. I hit him with a sleep dart and we murdered him, right?
Yeah.
Then okay, so 3 of his teammates were dead. He comes in, tries to pop the ult and solo us. We kill him. Then Roadhog comes behind us, pops his ult as well, and we kill him, right? And that's like 2 ults, 2 relatively powerful ults, completely wasted. And then on the flip side, my teammates, right? We lose the fight. So me and Mercy, we spawn together, and we're rushing to the point. And then like whenever as I'm rushing to the point, I'm always looking at the kill feed. If I see too many of my teammates dead, I back up and I go back to spawn to wait for my teammates to spawn. Because like me pushing solo against 6 characters is not going to achieve anything except feed them ultimate charge, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm looking and I'm seeing a lot of people dying, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm hesitating, but I don't want to leave Mercy to go in by herself, right? So I'm moving slowly and I'm staying behind her because I'm a sniper, right? So I can do that. Yeah. So Mercy rushes in and uses her resurrect to bring back Pharah.
And just Pharah.
And then her and Pharah die, and I'm like, what exactly did you think that was going to achieve, And it's one of those things where I honestly feel like if I just pull this Mercy to the side and being like, what exactly did you think that was going to achieve? He would realize that was not a good play. Mm-hmm. And then he did it again later on in the game where I died, and I was the only person that died, and then he used his res on me, and I'm like, don't do that. Don't, like...
Yeah, as a Mercy player, it's very difficult because part of you is kind of like, you don't want to sit on the res for too long because you feel like that could just be, I could be charging up another one. So you kind of want to jump the gun a little bit, but obviously there's times and places to do that. Usually what I end up doing is that if I'm going to if I can't res more than 1 person, and then I'm just like, you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it on a tank. I'm not going to do it on a squishy. Yeah. Because at the least I know that if I res the Roadhog or I res the Reinhardt, they have a bigger chance of surviving. So the one-man resurrection makes a little more sense, but usually I try and avoid it if I can.
There's situations where I can understand a one-man res. Your Zarya has Graviton Surge. Mm-hmm. And you guys are gonna use that Graviton Surge to wipe them, and then the Zarya gets picked up, and you're like, okay, just tempo res, right? Just pull off a res real quick. Or like your Reinhardt dies, and your backline is going to get picked up, so you resurrect the Reinhardt to bring him back. I get it, but like a lot of the times it's and like I said, I don't even feel like this. I'm not even saying this maliciously because I don't think because I understand his intention and I know his intentions were good, right? Yeah. You just feel like. You feel like, oh my God, my teammate just died and I have the ability to bring back my teammate, so I'm going to do it. But for me, I'm like, to go off your points where it's like, you feel like, I've sat on Graviton Surges for entire games because I'm like, if the situation never presents itself, I'm never going to waste it, right? Now, to be fair, I probably sit on them for too long in some cases, right? Yeah. But you do get what I mean.
No, I do get what you mean.
Throwing away an ultimate, because especially since Resurrect is probably the strongest ultimate in the entire game. Mm-hmm. If not the strongest ultimates in the game. This isn't a situation like Ana. Like, I throw away Ana ults all day because I can literally build Ana ult in like 30 seconds, right? Mm-hmm. So, I'm like, whatever. But like, this is a really, really powerful ult that takes relatively long to build up now, ever since the nerf. So it's like, and then this also factors into not playing with coordinated teams, right? Because when you're playing with a coordinated team, then you guys have your strategy, right? And you're like, and then the other thing is that when you play with a coordinated team, you guys die together a lot, so it's easier for Mercy. You guys are pushing in, and then Mercy just hangs back and she hides, right?
Yeah.
You guys pushing, you die, and then she flies in, resurrects all 5 of you, gets played the game, and you guys continue fighting, right? But then when you're playing in pubs, it's harder to pull off those multiple character reses. So then you feel compelled to res like a single character here, a single character there. Because I played Mercy a couple times, and yeah, I'm waiting for the big res, and the big res just never comes because, like I said, in pubs, you usually only get like 2 people dying at once. So I do get it. However, even in these situations, the res actually served no purpose. You bring back a Mercy, you bring back a Pharah when there's 5 people on the payload. Pharah is not going to. I don't care who that Pharah is. You're not going to do anything in that situation. You bring back an Ana when she's in the middle of the enemies. Like he rezzed me, I came back and they killed me again. That was literally a wasted ultimate. Because I was out of position.
And especially for you, it's like for certain other certain other smaller heroes, at least they have some sort of escape. Like they can if a Genji got resurrected, he could be like, well, gotta get out of here, and he could dash his way up, or a Reaper could maybe ghost walk or something like that. But with Ana, it's the only form of escape Ana has is her sleep dart, and that's not gonna stop an entire team. That's just gonna
Exactly. So it's just you see a lot of this stuff when you start playing, because I used to play. I rarely ever played pubs, and that was why I stopped playing the game entirely, right? But recently, because I'm gonna try and learn all these new characters, and I don't want to learn them on ranked, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start practicing them in pubs, and you see a lot of foolishness in pubs. It can be difficult sometimes. In fact,
sorry, I'm gonna sound like an old man. You're calling it pubs?
Yeah, public matches.
Oh, okay. I just would call it quick play because that's what it's actually called. But all right.
Actually, a lot of people call it pubs.
Okay, all right.
Have you heard the term pub stomper?
These are all new terms to me.
Wow.
I'm an old man.
No, you are a young kid, because these are all very, very old terms.
Oh, so you're the really old guy here.
Yes. Pub stomping is it's where you it's even in Urban Dictionary. I just looked it up right now. It's actually it's when
Tell
you
me more, Fawaz. I want to grow
up
up to be just like you.
And then you go to a public match and you stomp all the new kids, right? But yeah. Just playing in pubs and shit you see a lot of stuff. I think what I'm gonna start doing, because a lot of the times I have my mic in and I'm recording the actual commentary, but then because I'm recording the commentary, I put myself in a party, so I'm not bothering my teammates. I think what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna stop doing the live commentary, because it's very hard to do live commentary anyway when you're trying to focus.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna stop doing the live commentary so I can actually communicate with my teammates.
Well,
Sorry?
I was just going to say that, one of the biggest things is, the difference between having a mic on and communicating with your team is so big in this game.
Yeah, and and this goes back to my original point. I don't feel like a lot of the people I play with are bad. They just don't, because a lot of the times I'm playing on a team and everybody's playing poorly, and then my first thought is, oh my god, these guys are a bunch of idiots, right? But then I'm like, okay, one sec. I put on my mic and I'm like, okay, I start coordinating, right? And a lot of people actually just listen, because a lot of the times people they don't know better, So every now and then you actually run into just proper idiots, right? Who are idiots, and then they think they know better, which is the most dangerous type of player in the world. But most of the time, we're running out, we're playing uncoordinated, and I put on my mic and I'm like, okay. Once I was playing Reinhardt, I was like, okay, Zenyatta, 76, you guys need to stick with me, because I'm useless without you guys. And then they literally stuck with me the whole game. They would die, they'd wait at spawn until I respawned, and that was it. They didn't have mics, but they heard me, and I gave them a suggestion, and you don't do it like an asshole either, right? You don't be like, yo, you guys stop being subscribed, just be like, yo, and then I gave them a suggestion that made sense. They thought about it, and like, that actually makes sense. This dude has a giant shield.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that some more.
Yeah.
But yeah. that is a long-winded way of explaining what I've been playing this week.
Cool. So you want to get into some news? Oh boy,
Yeah,
I hope you're excited for some
news ties right into what I've been playing this week. So a little bit of it. I mean, everyone saw this coming. Yeah. Everyone saw this coming. Yeah. But we got a little bit of a teaser. It's leaked on Xbox Live. Mm-hmm. There was an option to purchase Halloween loot boxes for Overwatch. Now, I'm going to read the description for you guys. Celebrate Halloween with some frightening treats for your heroes during a new event. Okay. Overwatch Halloween Terror. Trick out your collection by picking up Halloween loot boxes, available for a limited time. Every loot box contains up to 4 cosmetic items, including at least 1 Halloween skin, spray, highlight, intro, emote, victory post, player, icon, blah, 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 blah. So it actually sounds exactly like the Summer Games event. However, the one issue that we both had with the Summer Games event was, I don't know if you had this issue as much as I did, but the fact that you couldn't buy stuff with your credits, that pissed me off so much.
Right.
I actually got absolutely nothing. It's funny story, quick digression. I made a video because I saved up 10 loot boxes, and then I made a video of me opening them. Yeah. But I got so angry when I was opening them that I spent most of the video cursing, and I was like, my little sister watches these videos, so I never uploaded it. I kid you not. Like, I was so mad and so disappointed.
I hope she doesn't listen to the podcast, because God knows I swear like a sailor.
I mean, no, no, she doesn't. It's too long for her. But yeah, I finished recording the video, and I mean, part of it was just that I didn't get anything. I didn't get anything worth uploading, and then on top of that, I was cursing in the video, and I was just like, you know what, whatever, man. I'm angry. I hate this video. I still have it though, so maybe one of these days I'll upload it.
One day. Honestly, like, I am very excited because there's a lot of cool ideas that they could do for Halloween-themed Overwatch costumes and stuff like that. Yeah. Just the biggest thing that they just need to do is just let people be able to buy stuff with gold.
Yeah.
And if you wanted to make it a special thing, just make it that people just can't buy them until the event, and like only during the event.
Yeah.
So it's like if you didn't log in to Overwatch during Halloween and you come back in November and you want to buy the Halloween skins, then, well, you can't because you got to wait till October. Like, I think that's fair enough to make it somewhat exclusive, but doesn't make it so annoying with the fact that you getting any of the exclusive stuff is going to be really damn hard. Because I will admit, I was lucky enough where after spending a damn long time during the Olympic events, that I was able to get 2 skins and an emote, and that was it.
What skins did you get?
I got the Switzerland,
Switzerland Mercy.
The Switzerland Mercy, which I was super happy to get, and I got the Olympic Tracer.
Oh, I hate that skin.
Sorry, not the Olympic Tracer, the British flag tracer.
Oh yeah, that is the Olympic Tracer.
Well, there's 2. There's one with a Rio flag, but then there's one with a British flag. But yeah, they're basically the same, just slightly different. And then the last one I got the Bastion emote, which is the boxer one.
Oh, okay.
So I actually really like that emote.
Funny story about that Bastion emote. I was watching Seagull's stream when the thing happened, and he bought 150 loot boxes trying to get that one emote. Mm-hmm. He didn't get it.
Yeah. That's a problem. That is a big problem, and that's why I'm like, okay, Blizzard, just let people use gold. Like, you've done it with Hearthstone, and that is the one thing that I will always say that Hearthstone did completely right, is the dust system was completely fair. And I really like it, and I know how the gold system works is not perfect, but if at the very least, if we could get, use gold to buy skins, that would be fine. Because I have enough gold. I think I have enough gold where I could probably get like a epic skin for at least one character during this event. And if it's a good enough skin, I might actually buy some packs. But the biggest difference is that when I'm getting a lot of the same stuff and I'm getting gold, at least I know that it's going towards actually getting something.
Yep,
So
yep, I'm with you 100%.
yeah.
Because, like, for me, when I found out that I couldn't buy stuff with the gold, it killed my enthusiasm for the entire event, and I barely played it during the summer
Mm-hmm.
games. However, if they announced that you can buy stuff with gold in this event, then all of a sudden I'm incentivized to play because, like you said, I
Mm-hmm.
know that even if I open up the packs and I don't get what I want, every little bit of gold I get, I can then apply, I can then use towards something,
Yeah.
and yeah, I like this idea. I love the idea of seasonal stuff, like this
Mm-hmm.
time in the summer, like I'll grind to level 200 right before the summer, and then I'll just wait at level 1, and then as the summer game starts, I like the fact that, like if Overwatch becomes a thing for a long time, we have these events that we can look forward to
Yeah.
every year, and but yeah, we're probably also gonna get a new brawl. I don't know what it is, and I probably won't care about whatever it is.
Probably.
Yeah. Oh, one little bit that I forgot to point out actually is that if you look at the art, there's a little artwork that comes with the announcement, right? There's like a
Mm-hmm.
little candy box, and in the candy box there's like a Reaper candy. There's some candy that looks like the two dragons consuming each other, so either Hanzo or Genji.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right next to the Reaper candy, however, is is some candy that looks unmistakably like Sombra.
Now, when you say Sombra, nobody really knows what Sombra is. So, are you talking about the what people think of the robot Sombra, or like?
No, there's this icon that
Okay,
that
I want to
that's
actually look at
actually a
this.
thing. It's like a little skull looking thing, but it has some like
Oh, okay.
Latin American influences on it. There's like some like graffiti in it and some
Ooh.
stuff
No,
like that.
I see it. It's the candy that it's a skull, but it has like almost like two little ponytail things next to
Yeah,
it.
yeah, 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 yeah. So that skull is like that. I think that's actually confirmed as the Sombra. Like I think
As the
I think
Sombra
Blizzard
icon.
Blizzard had a website that had that image on it. So that is I'm pretty sure that Sombra is going to have some kind of imagery in relation to that. However, it's
Mm-hmm.
right there in the and even if it isn't Sombra, it's not no character in the game right now has that imagery. So at the very least, it's something new.
It's
But
something new.
let's not make a big deal out of nothing. We've been doing that
Yeah,
for
we've been
months
doing.
now.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty much what every Overwatch fan has been doing. It's like, dude, I noticed something. This texture slightly off. I think this is related to Sombra.
Sombra confirmed is a meme in itself now.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was once I was watching a tournament, and during the tournament they were having some like technical issues. So like the screen started scratching, and they got like the little bars and tones,
Yeah.
and then the whole chat is like Sombra confirmed.
That's
so
pretty great. Yeah.
so yeah, that's pretty funny. But anyway, this is a leak, but considering the timing of the leak, I bet that the Halloween events are probably going to start next week Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
look
I'm
look look
excited for
forward to
that.
that.
Hopefully it's good. Something that our next story is an interesting one because it started out really freaking bad, but then got better. So if you haven't been if you haven't been following the story, it's really interesting. So basically, what happened was is that Fallout 4 is one of the Bethesda games. Obviously, everyone knows about Fallout 4. But it got mod support several months ago for the Xbox One. Like that got implemented, right? So people
Yeah.
were finally able to put mods on their Xbox One version of Fallout 4. So what happened was is that people were like, well, where's the PlayStation 4 mods? And Bethesda was kind of silent on it, but saying that they were still coming. And then a little more silence. A couple months passed, and about 2 weeks ago, they came out with a response saying that after much debate and discussion with Sony, we are unfortunately announcing that we will not be adding mod support to Fallout 4 or Skyrim HD. Due to multiple of reasons. Now, some of them have speculated that the main reason has to do with Sony was uncomfortable with the modders having access to certain files on the PS4,
Mm.
and I think the other thing was is that they didn't also like the idea of modders just throwing files that they could just grab from other things. Like a constant issue for Skyrim is just that what people do is that people will grab models from other games and put them into Skyrim as mods. Like
Ah.
one, there was one. I think there was one that happened where basically they took a ogre from Dragon Age Origins, and there was a mod where you could change the giants in Skyrim into ogres from Dragon Age Origins, and that got torn off right away because of copyright issues. So that was another thing that probably that led to this. So obviously people were pissed because people were like, you got like, well, they were pissed at Sony mostly, but they're also pissed at Bethesda because it's like you guys promised us that we would get mod support. So a couple weeks passed, and literally a couple days ago, um, after a lot of people kind of there's a whole hubbub and probably a lot of people very loudly voicing that this is stupid. Sony and Bethesda were able to come to an agreement in which, yes, after much talk, we have finally found a way, a compromise, and now we will be confirming for realsies this time that mods will be coming to Skyrim HD and Fallout 4. And I think the biggest thing, part of the compromises, is that modders can only really use the creation kit that Bethesda has available to them. So you won't be able to drag in files from other games and stuff like that, but you should have a lot of stuff that you can use and mod with. I mean, most modders use the Bethesda creation kit anyway, so that's not that big of a deal. But any modders that try and use like outsourced software and stuff like that are probably gonna have a hard time with that. But overall, this story took a weird turn from bad to like good. I don't know. What do you think of the whole situation?
Well, when the whole lack of mod support, when the whole lack of mod support thing happened, I mean, I don't care personally. I rarely ever download mods. Now, to be fair, I don't know what I'm missing because I've never downloaded mods.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was indifferent, but I was like, come on, Sony. The Xbox One didn't die because they allowed mod support. You guys can just, I'm sure you guys can figure something out. And they ended up being right. They figured something out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm glad they found some kind of workaround, because for the people that do really like mod support, and there's people that probably, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's people that bought Fallout 4 partly because they announced out the gate um that it was going to have mod support,
Yes. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
backtracking on that, I feel, is not a good look. So I'm glad they figured out a way to iron that out. Other than that, like I said, personally, I don't care.
Right. Like you haven't really experienced mod as someone who, excuse me, as someone who got to experience mods for the first time in a really effective way in XCOM 2 for the PC. I can see the benefits,
Hmm.
but not just for aesthetics or gameplay reasons, also just for UI. Like, there is a lot of really nifty UI modifications that you can make to games to make them play easier. Or like, let's say there's a UI design that in a game that you don't like and you wish you had more ability to change, or there was a different alternative,
Yeah.
then there's a lot of actually really good modders that have better menu layouts. Like I know a lot of people that fucking hate the menu in Skyrim. Like they just
Mm.
detest how that menu navigates. So like one of the first mods that people were talking about when Skyrim came out was there was this huge menu overhaul that made it a lot more easier to scroll through stuff and access stuff quicker. So having that available, especially for a Bethesda game, I think is pretty useful. Especially since some people like are obviously in the case of UI, people have different opinions on how things should be done and whatnot. So,
Mm.
I can see that that's going to be really really nice. Um, I like more of the cosmetic stuff.
Okay.
I like downloading like creative armor and new weapons and stuff like that. Like one of the things that I usually do when I'm playing XCOM is I'm looking, all right, is there a new gun model that I can add to my soldier or something like that, instead of
Yeah.
having like I want my soldier to have a spaz shotgun or something like that, right? So like that's something that I like doing a lot with mods. But honestly, I I was really bummed out that before when Sony said that they weren't going to do it, and I'm glad that they did. They did have the common sense to turn this around and try and come to a compromise, because I think people are pretty happy now
Yeah.
because the fact of the matter is that like I want to see how mods work on a console. So when I saw that Sony wasn't going to get any, I was like, oh, I won't know, you know?
You could just look at how they worked on the Xbox
I
One.
know, but I want to see it firsthand, you
Oh,
know?
okay,
I
okay.
could always like I could watch a video, of course. Any Joe Schmo can do that, but it's like I want to see it firsthand, you know? How it affects the system and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I guess it's a pretty good turnaround overall for this story. On our next on our list, Darkest Dungeon announced a bunch of new DLC called the Crimson Court, and yeah, it's pretty cool. It's vampire themed, so that is pretty rad. So the what they're probably going to do for this DLC, since you don't know much about Darkest Dungeon, Fawaz,
Nope.
um, is when you play Darkest Dungeon, you grab all your stuff and you grab all your heroes and equipment and stuff like that, and you choose an area to go like delving into. This can be like the Underdark, the swampland, the forest, the sea cove, and every area has a different set of enemies, right?
Yeah.
And they all have different mechanics and whatnot. So, what I'm expecting is that this will be a completely new area that you can go to and explore, and it will probably be like a mansion or something like that.
Hmm.
And part of the thing that I think is interesting, because one, vampires obviously make sense because it fits the aesthetic perfectly, and two, since this game deals a lot with diseases and sicknesses,
Oh
like
boy.
ailments, I'm really curious how vampirism would work in this game. Like, it would be kind of interesting if vampirism was both a debuff and a buff. You know, like you getting bit and becoming a vampire makes you somewhat stronger, but what it also does is that other people who aren't vampires treat you or more scared in your presence, or
Hmm.
like you actually are less effective in lightly lit corridors, because there's the torch mechanic in which when you are when you have your torch really high, you lose less sanity, and the enemies don't show up as often. And thing if the light goes down more and more and more, the enemies show up more often, and you lose more sanity. But the rewards you get from the fights are increased by a lot.
Okay.
So I'm curious if there's going to be a mechanic that has to deal with light with this. Overall, it seems really cool. I don't know what your opinion on is because you haven't played the game, but what do you think of vampires?
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna have a very basic opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I like the art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
yeah.
art style looks pretty cool. I mean, I really like the art style of this game,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I can definitely see them doing something with the vampirism mechanic because yeah, like you said, a big part of the game are the ailments. So you introduce vampires. I feel like it would be a missed opportunity if you didn't take advantage of that and introduce vampirism as some kind of sickness, but also a strength, similar to
Yeah.
how most games handle it actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I can't. Oh, it's coming out early next year,
Mm-hmm.
so that's good, and it's coming for. Well, okay, wait, shit, because the poster on my one sec. Let me try and load this poster up properly. There we go. Okay, early. Oh, for God's sake, get these ads out of the way. Early 2017 for PC, Mac, Linux, PS4, and Vita. So I wasn't sure if they were going to, because the PS4 and Vita version came out later. I wasn't sure if they were going to, to do the DLC later. And this doesn't confirm, but at the
Mm-hmm.
very least, they announced the DLC for all platforms at the same time. So that's cool. Hats off
Yeah.
to them. One other interesting thing about the poster is the presence of a lot of mosquitoes.
Oh, yeah, that is true.
Yeah, now I might be reading into this a little too much, but when you consider the interaction between vampires' blood and then the interaction between mosquitoes and blood, I mean, mosquitoes are pretty much modern day vampires, if you ask me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Is there any kind of pestilence in the game?
There. I don't know. Like there kinda is.
Oh yeah,
Trying.
you didn't finish that.
It has been a. I would assume that there is some sort of form of pestilence. I know that there are certain sicknesses that you can get. Like for example, like you can get tetanus if you open up a
Oh,
coffin.
oh shit!
Yeah, yeah. You can get like stuff like that. So there are diseases that you could get into the game that add like semi-permanent stuff. The interesting thing is that any ailment you get in the game you can cure, but you have to
Okay,
put them into a special like you have to put them into a special like hospital, and then they have to stay there for like at least two missions or a mission or something like that.
okay.
So they're out of commission while you're trying to get rid of their ailment. So I am curious because what I do want is I really want a ailment. I really want an ailment that is both a buff and a debuff. Like
Yeah,
for
that would be
this.
pretty cool. So, there's like shouldn't I cure them elements
Mm-hmm.
to it. Yeah, that would add an extra layer of depth to
Mm-hmm.
what I hear is an already pretty damn deep game.
Oh,
So, huh.
it's pretty deep. Like there is a lot of mechanics, and I mean, I bought it during early access, so it was kind of fun to play the game while it was adding stuff and evolving and stuff like that. So, considering that there was only like maybe 6 different classes, and now there's like 13 or something, you know,
Yeah, it's 15 on PS4.
15 at this point. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But overall, cool stuff from Darkest
Yeah.
Dungeon.
Another cool little bit of news is that Voodoo Vince got an HD remaster announcement. Now, it's funny, the IGN article that announced this, the first line of the article is that a few of you read that headline and jumped for joy, but most of you read that headline and hit up Google search. And
It's pretty
that's
accurate.
pretty true. So like back in the day, like on the original Xbox, I don't know if most of our viewers probably don't even remember this, but there was a time when the PS2, holy shit, the PS2, the GameCube, and what? Sorry, scratch that. When Microsoft were looking for an icon,
Yeah.
similar to Crash Bandicoot, Mario, Sonic. They wanted a cute little icon type character that they can parade around the kids to help promote their console. One of the characters who they tried was Blinks the Time.
Yeah,
Oh,
Blinks. I remember Blinks.
yeah, the Time Cat, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Blinks the Time Sweeper. Oh wow, I actually remembered that properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the characters they tried was Blinks the Time Sweeper. The other character was Voodoo Vince. Neither of these games are very successful, as you could probably
Yeah.
deduce. And Microsoft eventually realized that they already had an icon, and his name was Master Chief.
Yeah.
But yeah, Voodoo Vince was a sleeper hit on the original Xbox. Okay, no, I'm pretty sure it didn't do very well because it never even got a sequel. However, it's as most of these games do, most of these quirky games do, it built up a solid cult following,
Yep.
and I'm actually pretty surprised to hear that this is getting an HD remaster. It's similar to when they announced the Phantom Dust sequel that we still haven't heard anything about.
Yeah.
I didn't see this coming. It's the HD remaster is coming 2017. That's all we know right now. We don't know, early or late 2017 or anything.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
hey, that's more than most Voodoo Vince fans were expecting.
Yeah.
So there's already progress in that regard. Yeah, yeah, that.
It looks really really cool, and I don't know much about Voodoo Vince, but I was watching the trailer that they announced, and it's like, yeah, it's got a very quirky style to it. It kind of made me think of a little bit of Psychonauts with some of the proportions. But yeah, no, it looks pretty cool, and it looks like it could be a lot of fun to revisit that game. And like I said, this is a you know why I'm always really happy about these types of remasters,
But
because guess what? I would have never known or probably even picked up Voodoo Vince. If if the only way to play was to buy an Xbox original and
Yeah.
play it that way. But now that it's getting an HD remaster, I can revisit it and whatnot. Well, I
No, I
mean,
completely.
yeah. I'm saying this like I do realize I don't actually have an Xbox One, but I'm saying that like
No,
for
I get
the
what you're
for
coming
the
from.
current user base, this is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. No, this type of HD, because I mean, this might be Microsoft, testing the waters, throwing out some feelers, seeing
Mm-hmm.
how much, seeing if there's a market for Voodoo Vince's return. Personally, I feel like they should just be focusing on bringing back Conker. I've always felt like Conker was
Mm-hmm.
the right type of, because like the Xbox has always been more of a quote unquote mature console compared
Yeah.
to the other two because most of their main games have been like adult games. You have
The
your Halos, your Fables, your Forzas. It's not really games aimed at children.
yeah. I just want to make a comment about Conquer. I'm against that now because they kind of tried to do that,
They
and
did not. You need to
they
stop listing that as them trying to bring back
okay.
Conquer.
Well, what they did was is that they reanimated his corpse into a monster that no human being could comprehend,
Yep, that
and
was.
that like I'm still salty about that because that one trailer with the redesign, I was like, oh my god, what happened to you? Christ. Like but I don't know. I feel like I is maybe it's just me, but I don't know if it's like is Conquer like just a kind of character that just he only really fits in that kind of timeline. Like I don't know. I don't know if that's
What do
part
you
of the
mean by
problem.
that kind of timeline?
I don't know. Like I don't. But part of the problem I have is that I don't understand the mindset. This is kind of a digression, but I don't kind of understand the mindset of how they would try and bring back Conquer and try and make him more PG. Because I'm like that defeats the whole purpose of Conquer.
I
This is
don't think I don't think they were trying to bring back Conquer. I feel like that was just like a cute little Easter egg that they throw into one of their games, similar to how shit. I'm trying to think of a good example. Whatever. It was a cute little Easter egg that they were like, you know what, we're making Project Spark.
well.
Why not just throw Conquer
It,
in
the
there?
the problem is that I don't really feel like it was an Easter egg because if it was an Easter egg, it would have been just like a hidden thing in the game. The problem was is that there was multiple like advertising and trailers with Conquer in it.
Okay. Yeah,
Like
I have a
imagine if there was a Portal trailer that just had a bunch of shots of the cake. Like
Yeah, I thought of a better example. Battletoads. Battletoads when Microsoft got their version of Shovel Knight, they added Battletoads in it. They added like a couple of Battletoads type boss battles, and then a little while later they add Rash to season 3 of Killer Instinct, and that was that.
okay, so you're saying more like a cameo than
Yeah, more like a cameo. Thank you. That's the better
okay,
word.
that's the better word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, more
Okay.
like a cameo type thing as opposed to them trying to actually bring back Conquer. Because yeah, they put Battletoads in Shovel Knight. Everybody was like, oh yeah, obviously we're getting a new Battletoads game. Yeah, obviously none of us know what the hell we're talking about. And then they did the same thing with Killer Instinct. Rash ended up in there. People are like, yeah, well, this is an obvious sign that we're getting a new Battletoads, and it's like, no, we still don't know what we're talking about. So yeah. Anyway, that's a quick digression. Voodoo Vince HD remaster coming early 2017. Good shit. Good
Good
shit.
shit.
Good shit. What is not good shit? Okay, what's kind of good shit? Like
It's
midway,
yeah,
is that
like
Gravity Rush 2 is getting delayed until January. Now, part of the reason why I'm happy about this is that Gravity Rush 2 was going to get murdered at
oh,
the
it was going to get
it
fucking
was
murdered.
coming out in between Final Fantasy 15 and The Last Guardian, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that
So
was
this was a very, very, very smart move by Sony to, I rarely ever give people credit for delaying games, because especially Sony, that their whole fall mantra has been delays at this point. For most of the PS4's lifetime, they've had like very, very, very bad fall seasons. With that said, I do think this was smart because like Gravity Rush is a very, very niche type game, and you don't want to really. I never understood why they were releasing this in the fall to begin with. This always seemed like an April summer type game. You release this game when there's not a lot of competition out there, and most of those people that would never give this game a second look decide to buy it because there's nothing else to buy.
yeah,
Like
exactly.
what's that game? Until Dawn? Yeah, like Until Dawn.
Yeah,
If that
Until
game had
Dawn
come
came out
out
in a
during
weird.
Christmas, that game,
Yeah.
I think that game would have gotten murdered. It would not have done half as well as
because
it did.
Until Dawn came out in August last
Yeah,
year, right?
right
So
before the madness began.
yeah, that was like a dry month.
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah, exactly. So but yeah, no, this is perfect. It perfectly makes sense because this is a very niche title, and if you're gonna sell a niche title, it makes more sense to release it in a month where it's like, there's not that much on the market. Oh, I'll pick this up. This looks kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It's the
Now,
smarter thing to do.
sorry?
It's the smarter thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, now to be fair, I haven't paid much attention to the 2017 calendar. I know there's a lot of stuff coming out in February. However, January, okay, I'm actually looking at it right now. In January,
Resident Evil. I think the only other game that I can think of off the top of my head, I know Resident Evil is coming out at the end of the month.
Yeah, the 24th. So yeah, right now Gravity Rush 2 is probably the second biggest game. Well, no, Kingdom Hearts HD 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, because who cares about simple names? Those are probably the two biggest games. So Gravity Rush 2 has some room to breathe, not too much because it's coming out 4 days before. Excuse me, because it's coming out 4 days before Resident Evil 7. But this is definitely better than. Holy shit! Can you hear that helicopter?
A little, but not that bad.
Okay,
Jesus,
so
you're getting like a freaking like assault over there.
To an airport, so this happens every now and then.
Every now and then.
But yeah, this is definitely better than it launching in December. It was dropping. I think like the week before, the week after The Last Guardian, and like a week before Final. No, it was coming out a week after Final Fantasy 15 and a week before The Last Guardian. So it was. And then it was also coming out in November, if I'm not mistaken. With Watch Dogs 2, all these other crazy games. So this was a good play by Sony. We haven't even gotten into the other part of this news.
Yeah, this is actually pretty. So so to kind of compensate for the fact that sorry guys, we're delaying our game to January. We have decided to give a gift to the fans, and story DLC that was originally going to be released after the game for like a certain amount of money or price will now be released for free, as sort of like a sorry gift basically. But overall, I think that's actually kind of nice because it means that we love free DLC as we've expressed before. But I think it's good because when Gravity Rush 2 comes out and people, go through it and beat it, it means that there's be free content for them to go back to, which I always like.
Yep. So yeah, usually when we get delays, we get like, a big middle finger and we're told to hold that. So, it's nice for every now and then for the company to just be like, okay, let's just give you this little extra stuff here to kind of compensate for the delay. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, Gravity Rush 2 is dropping in January now, January 2017.
Yep. And our last piece of news, well, not really, but a little bit. Basically, we have a release. Basically, the date of the PlayStation Experience is going to be December 3rd and December 4th. And if any of you are new to the podcast, we have a very special place in our heart for these PlayStation experiences. They are part of the reason why we made this podcast all these years ago. So we're always excited. I'm kind of curious. Excuse me. I'm kind of curious what they're going to bring this year. I
can tell you.
You can tell me. What are they going to?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing
worth commenting on. Like, I sat down for an hour last year to see Ace Combat 7 and Ni no Kuni 2. Ni no Kuni 2 is actually pretty cool. I'm excited for that. But that was all. Everything else was some indie bullshit.
We had fights about this. I remember they showed Final Fantasy VII remake gameplay. So.
Oh yeah, that actually wasn't bad. Yeah. I didn't expect to see Final Fantasy VII.
So honestly, that's kind of what I want to see. I want to see more because they have been pretty damn quiet. Because the only two things we've gotten so far for Final Fantasy VII was the reveal trailer at E3 and the gameplay trailer at the PlayStation Experience. So I'm hoping that they can show some more because it's been a while since we've seen any more news. Any more gameplay for Final Fantasy VII. I'm trying to think of anything else I'd like to see. You know what would be nice? It would be nice to see an English trailer for Persona 5 or a dub
Yeah.
trailer, but we're not gonna see that. It
We're gonna
is
like
okay.
honestly.
Just as a discretion, I am getting. It is so freaking hard because I have to like physically stop myself from typing in Persona 5 on any search engine available because there will be spoilers because the game is out.
This is true.
And also they showed off a bunch of the DLC costumes, and remember we were talking about how there's Persona 3 and Persona 4 costumes.
Yeah.
They actually also added Catherine costumes.
Yeah, I saw that.
I
I
saw
saw
that,
that.
and I was like, "Oh my god, these look even better because they're really cool outfits." I don't know, but honestly, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to see because last year was kind of interesting. I felt it was kind of funny though. Fawaz hyped it up for me that it was a train wreck, so that when I watched it, I kind of went, okay, whatever. It's kind of meh. Because not
It was just a tire fire.
yeah, it was just a tire fire. Like I wanted ridge racers. All right, that's if I want, you know what I want? I want ridge racers, or I want that Sonic experience, the 25th anniversary. Oh my god! I watched clips. I don't think we actually talked. We talked about the announcements, but we didn't actually talk about the live event itself, which we really should have. Because after watching it, I was blown away of how bad it was.
Yeah, but no. Here's the thing: is that the presentations themselves aren't terrible. They don't spend a lot of time talking about stats and shit like that. Thank God Sony's finally realized that no one gives a damn. No one gives a rat's ass. My issue with the PlayStation events has been and has always been just they show a lot of games, but then they don't show a lot of it's what's that word I'm looking
Heavy hitters.
for? It's quantity over quality.
Mm-hmm.
They come out and they're like that. Oh yeah, what's this game called? It's finally coming to the Vita. First of all, any statement that involves the word Vita in it is already an L. But they're like that. Oh yeah, Bastion is finally coming to the Vita, and I'm like, no one cares anymore. They're like, oh yeah, Brawlhalla is coming, and I'm like, okay, that's cool. Oh yeah, this other indie game is coming. I'm like, okay. They're like, oh yeah, this other indie game is coming. I'm like, okay, thanks, Sony. That's why I paid $450 for a console because I wanted to play indie games. And I think the part about the PlayStation event last year that pissed me off the most was that Sony actually had a lot of games to show. They just didn't show them.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, Persona 4. Well, no, Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Persona 5, Horizon, Detroit, worst name ever. Gravity Rush 2. They had all these games that they could have shown us gameplay of, and they were like, no, we're gonna show you more indie games. So that was probably the most, because like the PlayStation events a year ago, well, no, 2 years ago, they didn't have anything at the time, So it made sense that they showed us nothing. But this year, I was like, okay, I watched it because I was like that, there were some sure things, but even those sure things didn't show up. So at this point, I'm like that. Even when they had so many games to show, they didn't show anything.
Yeah.
So obviously, this event is not meant for showing off big games. Their intention is for this event to be like. I think part of it is that because there's like a show floor and you can play a lot of games there. So I think part of the attraction is for just to let people come out and play games at the event.
Yeah, like it's not
yes.
like I feel like the PlayStation experience is a lot of people treat it as like a mini E3 for PlayStation, and it's not really supposed to be that. Yeah. But you still kind of get that a little bit of expectation where it's like if this is still like a big PlayStation event, there should be some big PlayStation titles, at least something, And yeah, I know. Honestly, like I'm hoping that we get a better, obviously experience than last year. Nothing, like to be fair, it's only up from here because nothing will top what they did at that at the one where we started the podcast, which was when the guy announced the HD version of Final Fantasy VII, which was a port of the PC. and I just I can't fathom what was going through his head when he did
Nothing.
that.
That's what was going
That
through his head.
he went in HD port of PlayStation Final Fantasy VII, and then got on his plane and flew away. It's like,
And we're just sitting there like, dude, these guys live in a different world than we do, obviously, because there's no way that just doesn't
it's
make
actually
any
kind of
sense.
it's yeah, it's kind of amazing because I watched that clip recently, and it's kind of shocking because like you see the people start to get kind of hyped, and then it cuts to the crowd and you see everyone just doing the golf clap like, yay. Anyway, as long as we don't get that, I'll be fine. That's pretty much the gist of it. But before we wrap things up, let's do our question of the day. Our question of the day from the wonderful J Streets is, what is the most difficult trophy or achievement that you have ever seen in a video game?
Yeah, personally, like this is such an easy one for me. I can't remember the exact Ghost Recon, but one of the earliest Ghost Recons on the Xbox 360 had a trophy for being number one on the leaderboards.
That's just fucking stupid.
Yep. Like when I read the question, it's automatic. I was like, that there is no trophy I've ever seen. Like, there's so many things wrong with that trophy. I don't even know where to start.
Like, usually multiplayer trophies are pretty freaking... Like, I'm not a fan of multiplayer trophies.
I hate multiplayer trophies.
Overall, but that is just a level of insanity that's a good one. That's a good one. I've never heard of a trophy or an achievement say, yeah, you need to be number one in the world in this particular thing. Have fun.
And I think it gets better. Unless I'm mistaken, there were multiple. It was like you got to be number one on this leaderboard and on that leaderboard and on that leaderboard, and it was a terrible trophy. Like like you said, I hate multiplayer trophies.
Yeah, multiplayer trophies are always the hardest to do, and they're always usually the I don't know. I don't like them. The one that do you want me to say mine that I can kind of think off the top of my head? Honestly, I'm gonna also make a disclaimer. I usually don't really care that much for trophies or achievements. Like, I'm always like, hey, that popped up. That's kind of cool. But I never really go through the list to look them up and see how I'm doing compared to others or whatnot. But the one that I did see that I've always thought would be freaking difficult as hell is the Deus Ex one. This one I saw in Deus Ex Human Revolution in the first one. And it also returned for Mankind Divided. And basically it's just ghost the entire game. And what that basically means is that you have to beat the entire game and not get spotted once.
Huh.
And that would be pretty damn hard. Because even though
you save scum it?
Well, you could save scum it, but if, like, Fawaz, like, just so you know, you do realize that when I was save scumming while I was talking to you over that party chat, that 20-minute sequence took an hour and a half. So, yeah. And it's also, you also have to bear in mind, it's spotted. Like, I was trying to get through it without them shooting me. Like, there are a couple of moments where, like, somebody spotted something and was on alert. So that automatically counts as being spotted. So you would just have to literally not be seen, period, for the entirety of the game. And I mean, it's not that long of a game, but I still think that would be a pretty brutal one to do, even with save scumming.
Yeah. Oh, and just a quick update. It's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare that had that trophy, and it has 3 of them. Climb to the top of the solo leaderboard, climb to the top of the team leaderboard, and climb to the top of the universal leaderboard. So yeah.
Oh, that's so
bad. Yes, it is.
Like, I guess that trophy's, like, that must piss so many people off, because people who really care about 100%ing a game, they will never be able to 100% that game.
Yep.
God, that is just you really nailed it. That one, you just describing that, I'm just like, oh man, that's just fuck you.
Yep.
But really good question. Good question, J Streets.
Yeah, nice question.
But with that, we're gonna have to wrap things up. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If you leave a comment in the comment section, we'll make sure to answer in the next podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Ruben Liberty, and
Go out,
see you guys next time.